Welcome to Old Guy Tech,
the OGT.TV recording studio.
Technology for the rest of us.
Hi, Rob Charney, Old Guy Tech TV, and this is our monthly discussion with Sheriff John D'Agostini, Sheriff of El Dorado County, and we're going to talk about a holidays season here. We're doing Christmas stuff, as you know. We're getting real close to Christmas, and there's always issues and safety concerns that people have, John, when they're talking about shopping and how to protect themselves, what to look for, and that kind of thing. So why don't you give us an idea of what, so that we stay as safe as we possibly can during the shopping season?
Sure. A lot of it, Rob, is common sense. We all know this stuff.
Right.
It's just from time to time, I think it's good to remind folks of that.
You know what? You get complacent, and that's the problem.
Absolutely.
Yes. So yeah, let's remind the people.
I brought some notes. When folks are out, we'll start with shopping. Going out when you're doing your Christmas shopping.
Right.
We've all heard. Keep your gifts out of sight, out of mind. That's the best thing. When a knucklehead goes through a parking lot, if he's intent on stealing your stuff, he's going to look in your windows first. If he doesn't see anything, he'll go to the next car. So use your trunks. If you don't have a trunk or your SUV or whatever, cover stuff up with a blanket. Yeah. Preferably in the back in the tented area, or if it's on the seat and there's a big blanket there with lumps on it, they're going to know stuff's there. So down on the floorboard, stuff like that. Try and park in well-lit areas. Right. If you're in a parking lot.
It's dark early now.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
If you got to walk a little bit further, you got to walk a little bit further.
Right.
Try and park in a well-lit area where, again, a knucklehead's going to walk around and he doesn't want people knowing who he is. So he's going to do that. Don't carry large amounts of cash.
Yeah.
Everybody takes a debit card now.
Right.
Try to use that. If you do use cash, keep it in your front pocket. Keep it maybe in two different separate
front pockets. Yep.
Try not to keep large amounts of cash in one spot on your body.
Yeah, that's true. It's interesting. My father goes back to the Depression, and one of the things he taught me is that you always carry your wallet or your cash in your front pocket. Because the pickpocket, to get down into there,
it's tougher. It's tougher.
So
and
make
then
it difficult on him.
Yeah, and if I mentioned in two separate areas, if some knucklehead comes up to you and you feel threatened and he's demanding your money, give him your money.
Right.
But give him one pocket's worth.
Right.
That's
exactly.
all I got.
So you've got something somewhere else.
Yeah, it's not worth.
That's
it's not
great
worth fighting
advice.
for or shooting it out over.
Absolutely.
Give him your money. Then we go on to a lot of the big thing nowadays: internet shopping.
Right.
A lot of people are shopping on the internet. Please beware. There are scams out there, and a lot of them. One of the easiest ways, it's not foolproof, and I'm sure you know this, being the computer guy
that I am, right? Yeah.
If you're shopping on the internet and you get to that checkout part, it always redirects you, right? You're always going to a different site when you go to checkout.
Right.
Make sure that in the address line, in the web address line, it's HTTPS.
Right.
Make sure that S is there. It's not foolproof.
No.
There's other.
Well, you can buy. Unfortunately, the bad guys know how to buy these certificates, and so they're getting smart. But that is one important thing to look at.
That is one good way to look at.
My advice is be aware of the site that you're going to. Go to a well-known site. Go to Amazon. Go to some of the popular places, because you can more or less be certain.
Cabela's, Sportsman's Warehouse. Good.
Yeah, no, right, absolutely. Yeah, I keep telling my wife, go to Cabela's. But no, you're absolutely right. That's what we've got to do. We've got to make sure that when you go shopping, that you know and you feel comfortable with the place that you're shopping at.
If you're looking for a nice ring for your wife, and you go to Bob's Jewelry Store, and what should be a $2,000 diamond ring is only going to cost you $50, probably don't want to shop there.
Something wrong there.
there.
Yeah. Well, it applies. So we apply it online. So if you're walking down the street and you see a store and you don't really like the look of the store, you're not going to go in there and shop, right?
Right.
Same thing online. Right. And the other thing that I tell my wife in particular is that question everything that comes to you in your emails. Sure. Question everything. She popped up. Oh, hey, look, we can get this discount to something. Wait a minute. let's look at where it's really coming, because they're good at faking this stuff.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, on the internet, my rule of thumb, question everything.
And fishing. Fishing is still a big scam out there. You know, they'll get you,
Right.
look at this great deal, just go over to this, click on this, and put in some information, and
Yep.
they got it.
Yep, yep.
Another thing when you're shopping online is when you have the delivery. All of the reputable big box or Cabela's or Amazon or whatever, you can get a tracking number.
Correct.
And you know when it's going to be delivered. Right. Try and be there when it's going to be delivered.
Good point.
Don't leave it, have it sit on your front
porch. Yeah.
porch for a whole afternoon. At home, the same things for home safety apply. You know, a well-lit exterior, void of hiding places, and big shrubbery around your house where knuckleheads can hide out next to your house there.
Right.
We all know, most of us have Christmas trees. If we're home and our Christmas tree is lit, that's one thing. If you're going to go out, not only for safety, but also for fire, try and turn that Christmas tree, those
unplug
Christmas
those
tree
lights.
unplug those lights while you're gone.
Yeah.
And where your Christmas tree is situated and how it is, your gifts are all there in plain view underneath your Christmas tree.
Right.
If they're easily viewed from a window. Those are all things to keep in mind. Keep in mind. The least exposure you can have,
Right.
the better off you are.
Well, the bad guys always go for the low-hanging fruit.
Sure.
So let's remove that low-hanging fruit and make it difficult for
Yeah.
them. I mean, some of it's very simple stuff to do. Like you talked about covering packages if you have an SUV. I think I told you an experience my wife had shopping at Sunrise Mall, where she had put a bunch of presents in the back of the SUV, and she even covered it the whole bit, went back in shopping, and the window was smashed out, and the gifts are all gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely, it can happen even if you're aware. So, but they're better now, and there's a lot of cameras. The other thing is be aware of where the cameras are.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you want to be seen.
Yep, absolutely.
I think that's important.
Absolutely, yeah. When you're looking for the lighted areas, look for the cameras. They usually look like a little
Dome, right.
dark glass dome, almost always nowadays. And then the next most important thing is, for me, is don't drink and drive
Absolutely.
during the holidays.
Yeah.
It's one thing when we're, in the normal course of our business, we driving under the influence of alcohol and or drugs is, the biggest cause of the fatalities on our roadways.
Right.
There's just no way around that. It is what it is. We increased that over the holidays. We see that increase. This year was quite a significant increase over last year from the Thanksgiving holidays.
Really? Wow.
And I'll tell you, from law enforcement, because in El Dorado County, as in most counties in the state, I'm the sheriff coroner. And my deputies are deputy sheriff coroners. And there's nothing worse than during the holidays than having to do a next of kin notification to a family who just lost a loved one due to one of those reasons.
Right.
Just before or after Christmas. That's the worst.
No fun.
It's no fun. So don't do it.
Right.
Have a designated driver. Stay where you are. Get a taxi. Drink responsibly. All those things that we hear all the time.
Right.
It just isn't worth it. Not only if you get a DUI, it's going to cost you a lot of money and time in our beautiful facility here in Placerville.
And you're in?
At our inn. But the worst case scenario, you die or you kill somebody else.
Absolutely.
It's not worth it.
What amazes me is that this message has been going out for a long time now. And you would think it'd be a no-brainer for people,
Life is all about choices.
Yep.
And sometimes when people, they just don't make those choices. And when you've been drinking, then your ability to make good choices gets impaired as well.
Sure.
So have the plans before you even start to drink.
Yeah.
And stick with it.
Some of the restaurants and some of these areas have already set up for the taxis to be there and to come. And then there's even towing companies out there during the holidays that will come. And you know what? It's a lot of times it's free. Maybe it'll cost you a little bit of money, but they'll take you and your car home for you. Make it safe. So there's no excuse anymore, I don't think.
I mean, even if it's $100, it's like if it costs you $100 to get you and your car home safe.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a lot cheaper than a DUI.
That's right. A whole lot less problems. So absolutely, we got to make sure that we keep everybody, safe out there and don't drink and drive.
So those are the main things. I mean, your personal safety, the safety of your property, and don't drink and drive.
Yeah. You know, how about for the children? What would you tell children, the little people, to be aware of?
The little people to be aware of? Where? At home?
Or at the mall,
at the mall?
shopping. You know, they're out shopping.
Stay with your parents. Stay with your parents. You know, we don't see much kidnapping in this nation.
Right.
Other nations, other third world countries, kidnapping is a huge business.
Right.
It's just what it is. But there are knuckleheads out there that want to take pictures of our kids and do stupid stuff with those pictures of our kids. Keep an eye on your kids.
Right.
And for the kids, stay with your folks. If you want to go shopping with your parents, or you're out with your parents and you're going to do some Christmas shopping for them,
Right.
just tell them. They'll understand. I'm going to go in here. I got to get you something. They'll wait outside, but they'll keep an eye on you.
Yeah. Again, it's making
safe.
certain that you're going to the right place.
Yeah,
You
there you
know,
go.
and you know, it just always worries me. You see all these little kids running around. Like, I'll pick on Sunrise Mall. You have a child's area, and you see all these kids running around, and you wonder, where are these parents?
Yeah.
And I think sometimes they think it's safe. Drop the kids off here, and I'll go shopping. It doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. And the other thing, are you aware? You know, with these Santa Clauses that are out there, all these guys that put a beard and all that. Are the malls and places that are doing that? Are they doing background checks and making sure that this guy isn't some kind of pedophile or something? Something that he,
Rob, I don't know. We don't have any of those big malls in our county, so I'm not really sure. But I would hope so. I would think so.
Yeah.
You know, Santa Claus is part of the holiday, and I'd hate to somebody take a chance to tarnish it with just being that reckless and that not that smart about it.
Right. It just bothers me a little bit. I want to make sure that if you're going to have your 4-year-old or 5-year-old sit on this guy's lap, we've got somebody who's decent.
I understand, but also we can't live in a bubble.
No.
I mean, we gotta, we live in this world, and it is what it is, and there's issues. We take all the proper precautions that we can, and for the safety of us and our families, but we can't live in a bubble.
Right. That's true. That's true.
And Santa's for the kids.
Yeah, Santa is for the kids, and you just hope that there isn't any issues.
I understand.
What a way to ruin Christmas forever, right?
Well, I mean, if you have any concerns, call us.
Don't do it, yeah.
Call us.
Yeah.
Name will be somewhere.
Good deal, yeah. One of the other things that happens at Christmas time are donations. So do we have issues with groups that aren't really groups out there handing out masks?
Not here, not that I've heard of.
Okay.
Not here. Here the biggest charities that we have here, Big Brothers Big Sisters, and the largest is Toys for Tots.
Right.
El Dorado County is huge with Toys for Tots. Turns out in tremendous numbers to provide gifts for the families that need a Christmas. The kids need a Christmas.
They do a heck of a job, and that's through the Marine Corps.
The Marine Corps. But with a lot of the local volunteers in conjunction and assistance with the Marine Corps is what makes it happen. And El Dorado County, it's just humbling. I'll be Friday. I'm going to drop by for a while. We're making the last run to the drop-off point, and then Saturday and Sunday are the disbursement times. And I'm going to be there Friday for that last run, part of that, and then part of the day on Sunday. I'm going to be there, and I tell you, I have a hard time with it because it tears me up.
Yeah.
It tears me up.
Yeah.
But there is, and in this economy, there's a lot of families out there and a lot of kids out there that it's tough to have a Christmas now.
It is.
And with Toys for Tots and with what they do, it's very, very special.
Yeah, it's a great group.
Special.
The trap world, in case you didn't know that, particularly Pacific International Trap Shooting Association, has taken Toys for Tots under their wings, and they hold almost every club in the state of California that shoots PITA targets has a Toys for Tots shoot. And it's unbelievable the amount of toys we collect. It's very good. So, for all those that are anti-gunners and all that, the shooting world is a big supporter of many things, and Toys for Tots is definitely one of them.
That's good.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, when you see these kids that wouldn't otherwise have a Christmas, and they're just beaming. I mean, because they really don't understand.
No.
They don't know that they wouldn't otherwise have a Christmas.
Right.
They don't
They
get
don't know that
that.
mom and dad, they're just trying to put food on the plate.
Yeah, they
Right.
don't get that. So
Right.
anyway, but if they don't, it breaks your heart.
Yeah.
It just breaks your heart.
Yeah,
Because that's
it really
what
does.
it's for.
That's what it's for. You know, talking about breaking your heart, one thing was really sad, and it's because of damn weather, was that the Christmas parade was canceled.
Yeah.
I mean, that is so big for these kids. We used to do it every year. We'd get a truck and we'd go out and we'd throw candy for the kids and we'd have a good time and they would enjoy it, you know. And man, it just, what a shame that the decision was made to totally cancel it.
That was the decision that was made. I think that everybody has been doing their best to as far as the loss to Toys for Tots, because that's one of their biggest collection days of the year.
Right.
Is there at the bell tower.
Right.
And I know that the chief has really worked hard, and everybody's tried to come together to make up for that. And I think they've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. It's just, you know, it's one of those.
I was all set to be there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We were gonna, you know, try to be part of it too, and you know, it is what it is, unfortunately. But it's too bad we couldn't reschedule. I think what they need to do is do a day and then put a next day for a rain out day type of thing. You know, the next week we could have done it the following weekend. You know, but anyway, that's my beef. I know. I don't want to get you in the middle of that.
I have my opinions too on it. That's okay.
Yeah. I don't want you to get in the middle of that one because it is what it is. But so, all right. So in other words, what we're telling everybody is enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy your Christmas shopping. Enjoy your children. But always be careful.
Always be aware. Yeah. Absolutely. Always.
Right.
The world we live in now, just be aware.
Be aware. And like my new statement always is make sure that you question everything.
Yeah.
I hate to get to that point.
And what was Ronald Reagan? Trust but verify.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Trust but verify.
That's a good one. I like that. I'm going to use Ronnie's. That's a really good one. You know, so I was thinking about, you know, we were talking about the holiday season, and I was thinking about how many people we have unemployed, and I know we have a lot of people that are trying to get in law enforcement. Mm-hmm. And can you explain how somebody becomes a deputy sheriff in that process?
Well, they have to want to be. First of all, I mean, I think
you're not drafted to be an officer, so yes, I would hope that you'd want to be.
I truly believe that this profession is a calling,
mm-hmm.
And it takes a special person to do this job, and every job at the sheriff's office, because everybody, you know, you think of the sheriff's office, you think of a deputy sheriff, that's what you think of. But we know we have correctional officers, we have support staff, we have dispatchers, we have fiscal techs, we have IT folks. It truly is a huge team that makes this operation of providing public safety to the citizens of El Dorado County, the communities of El Dorado County, possible. It's the whole team.
Right.
But for a deputy sheriff, for a law enforcement officer, a peace officer, you really got to want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You think about it. There's very few professions in this world where every day to go to work, you put a gun on, a bulletproof vest, and you go out looking for trouble.
Looking for the bad guys.
You looking for trouble, you know. Mm-hmm. We're making great strides in also connecting with the community, but your job is to look for trouble.
Right.
So it takes a special person. Now, one of the biggest things I can tell somebody, a young man or a young woman that's interested in getting into this job, is keep your nose clean.
Mm-hmm.
Make good choices now. I was raised with that. My folks always told me the choices that you make now, you might not think they're a big deal, but they affect you the rest of your life.
Somewhere down the road.
That's
right. Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Make good choices now. Be a good student. Get good grades. Mm-hmm. One of the first steps is to be a peace officer in the state of California, you have to have a California Post Certificate. Peace Officer Standards and Training Certificate. Now, some larger agencies run their own academies. Well, they will hire you without a post certificate. They will put you through an academy, and then you go to work for them after you graduate. If you graduate, then you go to work for them. Most of them you sign a contract because they're investing that amount of resources and money and resources into you that you're going to give them so many years of your career. In other words, you're not going to get your certificate and get hired, and then you're automatically looking for a way out the door to go somewhere else.
Right.
Here at the El Dorado County Sheriff's Office, they used to hire entry-level law enforcement. without an academy and put them through an academy. Quite honestly, I don't need to do that. I don't need to have that extra expenditure. There's enough laterals out there from other agencies that already have experience, and those that are starting in law enforcement. There's enough non-affiliated academies out there that they can put themselves through. Everybody talks about a college degree, and a college education is fantastic. Nobody can ever take that away from you. A lot of people in law enforcement, when they're in high school, they want to get into law enforcement, so I'm going to get a degree in criminal justice. And that's great, and that's honorable. That gives you a good head start. And I'll never hold it against anybody, and I want to make sure I clarify what I'm going to say next. I would never hold a CJ degree against you, ever.
Right.
That's a good deal.
Right.
But quite honestly, when it comes to the point in your career when you really need a college degree and it's going to help you out the most is when you've started to promote. And then the CJ degree is not so important as maybe a business management or an accounting or one of those types of degrees.
Makes sense.
You're running more of a business than you are actually the law, and you're going to get the law and all that in your post-training, in the academy. So, but a CJ degree is great. It's a great education. There's a lot of information. You do get a little bit more of the bigger picture and the global picture than you do in your normal academy.
Right.
But
so it's good for a young person. Let's say somebody just graduated high school. They're not sure exactly what it is they want to do. Maybe that's something to go and do your criminal justice course, and maybe it'll give you an idea.
But then they might want to go be an attorney.
Well, yeah, but God, we got enough attorneys.
No offense. Maybe they want to go be an attorney. I have some
great friends, attorneys, and they agree. There's too many attorneys. So.
But come on right along. We have the Explorer program for youth. They can come and be an explorer and get a little bit of taste of it. Our explorers are very active right now. They're doing a lot of neat things. It's a great program. They can call the sheriff's office anytime and ask about, inquire into the program.
Now, what age group is Explorers?
Explorers is, I believe, it's 14 to 21.
Really?
I believe.
Okay.
I believe 14 to 21. Also, we have ride-alongs. If you're 16 years old and you want to go on a ride-along, I believe it's 16. I had all these numbers in my head a while ago, but my filing system's messed up.
I hear you. You're trying to get too much in there.
Too much in there. It's budgets. That's what budget cycles will do to you. Go on a ride-along and get a little. Some nights are great. Some nights they go call to call, and other nights I would say go, if you really want to taste, go on an evening shift. Day shift is a lot of paper and a lot of report taking, and that's another side of it too that maybe you want to get a look at. And call me or call anybody. Everybody knows somebody in law enforcement, one way or some way, roundabout way, and talk to them and get some advice and direction in which area they want to get into. This business is not like what you see on cops. We just don't run from call to call and have fun all night.
Oh, yeah.
What they never show you in the movies, on cops, or anything is all the paper that's involved.
Oh, yeah. Why would they want to do that? That would ruin the whole thing, wouldn't it?
All the reports, because you document everything.
Right.
If you don't document it, never happened.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
But it's a great career. Obviously, it's been very, very good to me. I enjoy it. I love it. I do miss the streets. I miss a lot of my career was working narcotics. I miss that. That is a whole different world in itself.
I bet it is.
Law enforcement.
Yeah.
I miss that. I miss the excitement. I miss being on a SWAT team. I miss that camaraderie. But it is a great, great profession.
Yeah. Well, good. So then for our youth that are watching the show and all that, you have an opportunity to get into a career. And this is a career, not a job. It's a career. So it's a wonderful opportunity for that. And, if you have a passion for law enforcement at all and you enjoy that whole idea, I think it's a great field to go into. So.
And don't go into it for the money.
Right.
Because, our deputies, they do okay, but they're average. They're average to everybody else out there. That's not what this job is about. It's about a career with decent benefits and a decent income. And just it's fun. It's great opportunities. There's so many collateral duties, SWAT, boats,
yeah.
narcotics, investigations.
things.
There's so many different avenues that you can get into and apply yourself to, and
Right.
it's like any other job. It is what you make of it.
Right. So, how about as you start getting older? You start reaching those 60 years and you're in the department. Many guys have already retired out. Do a lot of guys also still stay in?
They do. Some guys have choose to stay beyond their retirement date, which is, God bless them, great, because you have that institutional knowledge.
Well, that's
you have
what I
that
was
knowledge
thinking
and
about.
that experience.
Yeah. Right.
One of the problems that, and we can talk a little bit about PERS.
Okay.
One of the things that PERS did when they went to 3 at 50, 3 at 50 is a great program, and 3 at 50 is a competitive program. And I know there's a lot of people that are going to argue with me that California PERS is breaking and it's going to bankrupt itself. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. At least from a public safety PERS standpoint.
Right.
What was the problem with public safety PERS when it started, and I'll get back to the 3 at 50 issue, was it was for those, 3 at 50 was for those that are on the front lines, the first responders, fire and police, that went out and their adrenaline level went from 0 to 100 in a split second many, many, many times. And longevity for retired peace officers and fire was showing that our mortality rate was way up there. I mean, we didn't last that long after retirement because, and it was a actual physical issue.
Yeah.
From coming down.
I hear
that.
it's 2 to 3 years.
Well, in some of the bigger
cases.
agencies,
Yeah.
yes. Here we have a little bit different way
it's
of
a
life,
smaller
quality
agency,
of life.
Right.
But it was so the formulas worked.
Right.
Where the issue was is when they started giving it to every other Tom, Dick, and Harry out there. They started offering them 3 at 50.
Okay, you meaning non-law enforcement?
Non-law enforcement,
Okay.
non-first responders.
Non-emergency or first
responders.
responders. Okay.
So that was the issue.
Right.
But if you look, at 50 years of age, where are you in your career? If you start at 21 and at 51 years old, you're eligible for retirement, you've got 30 years in, the formula works out that you're maxed out on your retirement,
Right.
why stay?
Right.
Why stay? Right. I got all that knowledge sitting in there, and they're saying, boss, I'm working for nothing. I can leave here with a PERS retirement
Get the same
and
amount.
get the job. And I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I don't blame them one bit, and it's one of the reasons they got into this job was for the benefits and the retirement.
Right.
But the pay isn't
Right.
that
Exactly, yeah.
outrageous. So, there's a whole new tier moving now with retirement as far as age goes, 55 and up, and they're changing those numbers. But there are still some employees that they're eligible for retirement, they're close to max or are maxed, and they're sticking around. And God bless them for that.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
when they say they're working for nothing, they truly are working for $4 to $5 an hour.
Oh, yeah. Right.
They can go be a Walmart greeter or
Yeah,
go
but
do something for
they
more
have
than
had
that.
to love that job to be
They
there
do.
30 years. They would have to have loved that job.
Exactly.
And, boy, I'm almost 60. And, boy, I would say, retiring at 50, what in the world would I have done? I mean, unless you have something. And
Well, I'll be eligible to retire at 57 in 10 more years. I'll be eligible in 3 more years. I'll be
Right,
50.
right.
But I'll be maxed out at 57 in 10 more years. And I don't plan on retiring at 57.
Yeah.
Because as long as the people want to keep
Oh,
me
yeah,
there,
yeah,
I plan
yeah.
on working. My grandfather and everybody always said, well, you got to work till you're at least 65. That's what people
That's
work
the way
till,
it was.
65.
Right.
So that's something to think about in our retirement system and where we are in California is we are basically, there was a thing with Rick Brazil at SAC PD.
Right.
A lot of people have given him a lot of grief over leaving. Well, he's working for nothing. He's working for nothing. And I'm not going to hold that against him. He's going to retire. He'll go get some great smoking consulting job somewhere, and that's the American way.
Right.
Right. But when I hear about 3 at 50, CalPERS is breaking the state, I don't believe it. I've seen the numbers. They're wrong. It's a scare tactic. I think the state did a very good thing in providing that retirement system for those that are, when I said, strapping a gun on, putting a bulletproof vest, and running into danger when everybody else is running away.
Sure.
there's something to be said for that.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I was just, you know, I kind of we kind of took an interesting route with this one, but I was just thinking, you know, what retiring at 50 would have driven me crazy, and you know, me is I'm always inventing more jobs. I mean, that's the way I've been. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, and basically I'm always doing different things. And I have this huge range of knowledge, and I could only do that by keep going. And like I said, I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. We're gonna keep this thing, make this thing work if it kills me, which it might.
Nah, it won't.
But anyway, we've been having a good time, and I want to thank you for coming in and giving the Christmas message, and for all those people out there, let's make sure that they're safe and that they have a good holiday. And thank you very much for watching your show. And John, thank you so much for coming and being with us. Have a very Merry Christmas.
You too, and a New Year.
And a New
Great
Year.
New Year.
That's
too.
right. And a New Year, and 2013 is right around the corner. And everybody, you guys be safe out there and have a good holiday. This is Rob with Old Guy Tech TV. We'll see you soon.
They will support you. They will do referrals between clients. You can't ask for a more complete marketing package.
We love the windfall!
And you can too. Think advertising with the Windfall couldn't get any better? Well, it just did. For only $125 for a 30-second commercial filmed by Old Guy Tech TV, you can be seen and heard.